Hi there, and welcome to the Mummykins and Me sewing tutorial of the Alice A-line dress, which is a reversible dress for girls newborn to 10 years. The pattern is a PDF pattern available via the Mummykins and Me website. My name's Zoe and I'll be showing you how to sew the dress today. When you open up your pattern PDF, after you've read the pattern through from start to finish, which is essential for any pattern I believe, whether it's a beginner or an advanced pattern, then you can go ahead and print off your pattern pieces. The pattern pieces are assembled just following the alphabetical and numerological number pieces, and you just need to match up your little semicircles, make sure everything aligns, and then follow them from, in this case, A to D, and it'll be 3 pages across. You will also notice on your first pattern piece that there is a 1-inch test square here, and it is important to check that it actually measures an inch, otherwise it can set your pattern quite out. So make sure you check your print box and ensure that it says 100% scale or actual size in that option there. Okay, so I have just assembled the bottom 3 pieces, and I've just used sellotape to do that, but you could use a glue or double-sided tape roller. And once you have your pieces assembled, then we can start cutting fabric, which will be the next step. Once you have your pattern pieces together and the size cut out that you want to make, I am making a size 2 to 3, but we've added 3 to 4 length for my daughter. Now, the first thing you will need to do is select your fabric. You will notice there is a front piece and a back piece to the dress, and on each piece there is a fold line, and it is also the grain line of the pattern of your fabric. So it is best to follow that. Now I am doing a reversible dress, but you can also choose to do a dress just with a lining, and therefore you could just choose a plain poplin lining if you desired. So I am going to call my lining, or my reversible piece, I'm going to use this floral fabric, and you'll just need to make sure your fabric is right side together and folded. And I will be taking the front piece and I will be putting it on my fold line. Okay, so I make sure that that fold line is on the fold line of my fabric here, so when it opens out it will be a full piece. So I'm just going to mark my fabric. Okay, so I've marked my first piece, and that is the front lining of the dress, so I'm just actually going to mark it with a little F for front, so I remember which way it goes. The next thing you'll need to do is cut out the dress. I find it handy if you're using scissors as opposed to a cutter and mat just to pin your fabric so it doesn't slide around when you're cutting your piece. So now I'm just going to cut out this first piece. And now I'll remove the pins and you shall see that we have a full front lining piece. And I'll now just repeat the same procedure with the back lining. Once again on the fold of the fabric. With my back piece. Okay. Once you've completed your lining or your main, then you must continue on and do the opposite side. And so this one will be my main fabric. I'm treating it as my main, and we will repeat the process again. Starting with my front piece again, also putting it on the fold line of my fabric, matching up the fold again, like so. For the back main piece, I'm going to show you a different way of cutting out, which is especially useful if you've got minimal amounts of fabric or you want to get a particular pattern onto your garment, like this one here with the border. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace the first side on. I'm just going to put a little mark to show where that fold line is at the top and the bottom. Now I'm just marking out my pattern pieces with a piece of tailor's chalk, which you can get at your local haberdashery store, but there are also special markers that can be used to do the job, or I even used just a regular pencil or a normal washable marker to trace on, but the tailor's chalk ensures that it will come off, which is also important. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip it over so those middle marks meet up, and then trace the opposite side onto the fabric. And once that is done, I can see where my whole piece is on the fabric pattern, and I'm happy with that. And so now I'm going to cut out the last piece. And there you have it, another piece ready to go. And so once you've completed all your cutting out, you should have 2 back pieces for your dress, one main and one in the lining, and then 2 front pieces, one in the main and one in the lining. And now we can proceed to the best bit, the sewing.